The government spending account is fully loaded and just started unleashing fiscal liquidity into the economy. Over $300 billion has already been drained, and that liquidity goes into commercial and regional banks. And what do you know? Bank deposits are on the rise. And what do banks do when they have more deposits? They create more loans. And we see bank credit growth breaking all-time highs all around the time the TGA began to unleash liquidity. And like we talked about before, a slowing economy leads to an increase in liquidity. And a slowing economy is not a recession. Recessions are the result of an unforeseen shock. And if the market were actually concerned about recession, we would be seeing the dollar on the rise as a flight to safety, a safe haven as a world reserve currency. But instead it's falling, and that makes sense because the US money supply is still accelerating. The global money supply is breaking new all-time highs, so more dollars are being created and liquidity is rising. And this is why gold is breaking to new all-time highs. It's not a hedge against consumer inflation. Just look back to 2022. It's a hedge against monetary inflation, meaning gold is predicting the Fed will be forced to cut. We saw the same thing back in 2018 before the Fed actually cut. Gold took off and didn't stop until the Fed signaled tightening. And we have another source of liquidity coming from the bond market. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is targeting the 10-year bond yield for a very good reason. As bonds rise, borrowing rates fall, and the demand for credit increases. That's liquidity, all because debt is able to be financed at a lower level. This is exactly why Bessent is so adamant about getting rates lower. Mortgage rates are also tied to the 10-year treasury, so naturally lower mortgage rates unleash credit into a struggling housing market. The economic slowdown and the fear of recession is literally triggering a cushion of stimulus, and I believe the market will start pricing this in sometime in April. So far we've covered the US economic reset, but the global economic reset is much bigger. Trump is not